Hello. Hello, everybody.
Good
Hi.
morning.
This is If This Canvas Could Talk with Terry Wilson Art, and I'm Jeanette Bergstrom, and I'm also an artist. And we have a special guest with us today. Bernadette from Aussie Mama Art is with us. She is our fellow artist from, I think I met you when I was listening to um, uh,
Jody King.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And Bernie's comments were the funniest comments. She'd always ask the best questions. And then I introduced her to Miss Terry Wilson. And we've had so much fun being in contact over the internet and doing our social media. See, this is the cool thing about social, as you get to meet cool other artists who are in kind of the same boat as we are and learning and trying new things and figuring things out. So we are excited. We have a lot to talk about. Terry's had some new things been happening with her mini collection, and Bernie's been selling her mini art collection that's still actually on sale right now. So we wanted to hear about how all of that is going. I've been in the background, not doing much, still transitioning and with a new job and new career, but yeah, we're just excited. We're excited to talk to you guys about how they're doing.
All right. Well, I'm going to introduce Bernie, and also I want to introduce our third co-host that we have. There's three of us officially on If This Canvas Could Talk. Today we get to hear from him because Jeanette is out in her living area instead of her studio, which is Mr. Guinness.
My
Guinness staff.
Mary.
He's so awesome, and he's so happy today. He was just singing while you were talking. He's like, "I'm here, everybody."
Yes.
He needs his own social page.
Yes, if you hear a bird singing, that is my canary. He is Guinness Stout, and he is a beautiful singer.
He is. He's amazing. Okay, well, our guest today is, as Jeanette said, our awesome friend, Bernadette, and she has been basically creating all of her life. She went to art school out of college, and she said that she's really been more serious with her art journey over the last 3 years. She's been creating her She Shed space. Yes. I did it! Say that fast 3 times. She Shed space. She said, yeah, anyway. And her art right now is she's really focusing on hearts, which we all love. I actually have one on the way, I think, right? It should be coming anytime now. I'm excited. And she is focusing on hearts and putting her memories on canvas, which is super exciting. So we'll hear more about that. So welcome, Bernie. We're so excited to have you. And you're in your She Shed right now, right? Look at those hearts behind you.
I am in my She Shed, and I wanted to get this party started with a little champagne.
Yay! Oh my gosh!
It's a mimosa, so.
You're having mimosa, right?
Yeah, because I have to drive and get my boys later. So cheers to both of you. Happy 35th episode.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Cheers. I have tea. I'm pouring. It's iced tea.
I have a Santa mug.
There you go. A Santa mug. Awesome. Okay, so tell us. Okay, so our episode today is about minis, basically. So we've been doing a lot of creating around smaller artwork lately, and I think it goes with this time of year as well, because it's like the holidays, people are shopping for gifts, and so I think as artists, if you are watching on social media, like if you see other artists that you're following, kind of everybody gets into a mini phase during this time of year, just to be able to have some extra smaller things people can purchase to give as gifts and stuff like that. Do you guys agree? Are you seeing that a lot?
It's yes. It's price point as well, just because it gives a great way for, like you said, for gifts. So it's a less investment, especially if you're, you don't know necessarily the person's style of art that they like.
Are you still messing with that lighting? You are so funny. I see you.
I'm trying, guys. Okay, so that's part of the learning curve is getting the right light and wherever you do these shows. I
It's
still
that way for everything. Lighting is so important for everything in art, right? Like our
Right.
videos, our taking pictures, creating in good light. Light is where it's at.
Yep, for sure. So
Okay,
get the
so
strength. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Bernie, you've been working on your hearts, and you did a mini collection of them. And so tell us more about that. Like what inspired you to start that, and then you did a show with it as well.
Yeah, I
Right.
wanted to hear about the show too, Bernie. Like talk us your steps through how you decided to do the show, how you decided to do the mini hearts. Tell us the whole thing.
Well, I'm in a group in an art group in Bowling Green. It's called Artworks, and it's a lot of artists. And I'm starting to find out there are a lot of fine art, but there's a lot of younger people too. So I'm just in it to be inspired in this group. So they put on this show. It was actually in Bowling Green. We have something called the World's Greatest Studio Tour, and that's once a year.
Oh,
And you can sign up for it. And I think this time we had 15, maybe 20 different artists. And there's a big map, and you actually can go to the different artist studios and check out their work. Some people have storefronts. My she shed is a little bit too small this year, so maybe I can get a bigger one. But I would love that for people to come in and see my working space, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have
They
things for
drive? So
Sorry?
they drive to the different locations?
Yes. And the
Neat.
furthest one away from like downtown is, I think it was like a 10-15 minute drive. But it's a big, it's like a mini organization, and they have a map and what studio it is and the address and everything. It's online as well. So my art group actually participated this year in the museum, the Kentucky Museum. And so the art group had, I think there was maybe 30 of us. We
Wow.
had stalls in the museum, like different stalls. And it was really good to connect with other people. There were stained glass, there were fine artworks, pottery. And so it was just good to communicate with everybody. So once I decided to do that, I needed some work, something special to do.
Right.
So I actually took a course, Christmas ornament course online through Amanda Evanston. And she did all the business behind it, or was telling us about the business behind it. And so we created I did. These are like 4x6s, and they're ornaments, and they're on canvas. And I've never really done anything like that before. So I bought 24 canvases like this and laid them side by side on my table, and basically, as the background, did it as one big painting. Just like you do, Terry, with your minis. You know, it's just like one big painting. And then I did a heart on each one of them, and then I personalized them. And I actually said that on each piece, there's a little piece of myself. There's a little piece of Australian newspaper in there. So, you know, on each one, and each one has a word as well. So I don't know if that's backwards, but these are desire and create. So
I love that.
it was really fun just to lay it all out and just have fun with it and not be so precise on one thing. And so that I'm really excited to do more like that, even though I don't necessarily like the small size. I really want to work big like this. I don't even know how big this is, but you know, it's pretty big. Yeah. But just it's fun to make one big thing and then break it up into minis, basically. So I really like doing that.
Yeah. So, Bernie, I don't know if you heard our last show, but Terry and I have been talking about doing this, and Terry actually started. But she's doing, you know how when you're exploring or you're working in your sketchbooks, or like you said, there's no connection to the outcome. You're just exploring. And that's the most free for artists, because they're not, you know, they don't have to have a result. They're just exploring. So but we're doing that and sharing it with the customers or your collectors, because you're going to do it anyways, because you want to try things out and explore. But this is a way that then you can give out original pieces of art. So Terry, talk about your little membership, or do you want to just keep going with Bernie and then do yours after?
You go ahead.
Well, I think it kind of will bounce back and forth because there's things that she said that I agree with and that I found to be true for myself as well, which is one, that when you're doing them small like that, I agree. I do like to pay. I have learned from doing them smaller that I do enjoy also painting large, but I have been surprised at how much joy I had by doing them small and that freedom that comes with that. Because like with the one that I just did for December, which have you gotten yours, Bernie, yet?
For the first one, yes.
No,
Yeah.
the one for December, the one that I just mailed out.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay,
I'm
so
trying not to look on social media.
Okay, so I won't tell you what it is, so it'll still be a surprise. But I had 3 tries. I did 3 different things because my first idea that I had, it was total bust. The second one was a bust, and the third one was not what I was thinking, but I kept pushing it, and then it turned into something that I absolutely loved. And so I learned so much from that I feel like if I were working on a larger canvas, I might not have it wouldn't have turned out the same. The lessons wouldn't have been there in the same way because I would have done it different because the canvas is precious. You gotta,
Right.
You
have that in your head, even though it may not be true. You have that in your head.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm enjoying doing them. I'm having a lot of fun. Like you said, it's just fun. It's just, even though painting big is fun too.
Yeah. Do you keep one for yourself? So you yourself have like a look back? Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
So
and I just bought a book, which I'll do a video of when it comes in. I ordered one on Etsy, and so I'm going to put the one that I keep, and then my handwritten notes that I send you guys the copy of, so that they're together. And it'll be like a coffee table book, but also my notes to look back on to say, okay, this is what I liked about that, or this is what came out of it, or whatever.
That's what I think is cool about what Terry's doing is she's adding her notes on when she was doing this exploration, what she was thinking of, what she was trying, what the process was. And so that's super interesting. And I was wondering, with your mini hearts, did you find, like, how is it going? Have you sold a lot? What's happening with all of that?
Did she freeze? Oh no, there you are. There you are.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really hard to push on social media and get it out there because I think that I'm annoying people. But as they say, like 1 in 7 people don't even see what you're doing on your stories. Excuse me, on Instagram. So I don't care. I'm just going to push it even more, aren't I? But I have sold not as many as I'd like. I sold about 3 or 4 at the art show, and I've sold. When I first released them, I think there was about 4 of them, and then that also I brought it back to my jewelry as well, which I make from the collage paper, so it kind of goes hand in hand. So I'm getting some sales off that too, but a lot of it's Instagram and that I get sales from, and a few people at work as well. But that's
awesome.
I got to keep thinking of something new to do, So like this big one is going in a show, hopefully tomorrow. I'm finishing it, so I don't know if it's going to dry, but it's just it's like a gallery hop that we have in Bowling Green, and you have to enter it by tomorrow. So we'll see if that gets in there.
Yay!
Yeah, that'll be so exciting. You have to tell us. You have to let us know in our little group chat how it goes.
I will.
I want to say something though about a comment you just made. So you were saying that you feel like that you're bugging people, right? Or that you're bothering them. They're getting sick of you, or whatever the term was, but it means all the same things, right? It's what I feel the same way. And we just had Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and I can't tell you how many emails I got from the same companies over and over and over and over again. Blick and Jerry's Artorama must have sent me, I wish I would have counted. I mean, they sent me 3 or 4, Michael's too. They sent me 3 or 4 emails a day to remind me that they're having a sale. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? We're nowhere near that. And you're right. I think that we think that everybody sees our content, right? But they're really not. I mean, I follow both of you guys, like you're in my favorites, so I'm supposed to see like every single thing that you guys put out, right? But I don't, because I can go back in and scroll through your wall and be like, wait, how did I miss that? So I think that we have to just get more, we just have to get more comfortable with the fact of we're not bothering people. I mean, we're not trying to trick them. We're not being sleazy or skeezy or any of the negative words of like that are with sales. We're just putting out our joy. And if people have a problem with that, they can unfollow.
Yeah. Now, Bernie, when you were doing all your jewelry posts and all the mini heart posts, I thought it was great because it was like, okay, this is what she's working on now. This is what she's concentrating on. So I didn't get a sense that it was being overdone. I was thinking you were doing really good.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Okay. Me too. Yeah.
Good. I guess, I mean, people can just swipe, and not look at it, right? So, I think that's my big.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's just going to be my big focus for next year. I want to put in a lot of work, but I just want to get out there. So I want to try and get in some businesses as well and just get out there. So if I have to blast social media, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing the reels and the posts. And so I need to learn a few more tricks of the trade and make it a little bit more fun to watch. So that's, exciting to do.
Yeah. I think that comes to with just the more that you do it, the more for me, I get more comfortable, and then I've got the basics down. So then slowly you can start adding more things into it to make it more whatever fun and there's a gal that I just found last night when I was late night scrolling that was teaching Instagram reels and how to do it all on your phone. And so when she comes up again, I'll put it in our group. And if anybody's interested, you can message if you're watching the replay. And
Jeanette wants to know. I want to know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. She's like shows you literally how to do it all on the video. And so I can't wait to just have some time to sit down and try a few of them and add some things in and have fun with it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Terry about this not too long ago about how everybody has art that they do that we're producing, that is something that comes from inside us that we love to do. And there are customers for our art. There's customers for your art. There's customers for Terry art. Customers for my art, even though I don't always believe it. But the whole point is getting your art in front of enough people. And that's our biggest struggle. And that's why I think what you're doing is what all of us have to do. Just get yourself out there, go to shows, get your art in a cafe, post on social media. I mean, really, that's build an email list. How have you started building your email list, Bernie?
I have maybe 30 people in my email list. But I mean, at least they're opening it, because I think the last email was like 44% open rate, which is pretty good, I think. So
that's good. Yeah.
But I don't email a lot, which I should. I need to email a lot more too. Just that's an important thing, I know.
So when I was doing it, I was doing once a month if I was lucky. And I think that's a good way to start. Like, don't do it weekly. I think you do it once a month. And then as you get events happening, then do more. Now, Terry's just planning her year out in the calendar by quarter. That's the other thing that helps you kind of organize and plan out when you're having your events. And I think our other guest that we had on that was doing all the shows, Terry.
Lee. Lee Morrison.
She's going to commit to doing the shows that she's going to at least 2 to 3 times before she
Mhm.
decides if it's something that she's always going to do. So it's like you have to just try things and
Yeah.
just keep
Yeah.
trying things and give it, but don't give up after the first try. Like try it again and then, at least twice and
Yeah.
then make the decision on whether it's worth it.
And I think that so bringing us back to our mini conversation is, this is something that I think it's great that we can have all the different avenues of income, right? And so as artists, if we want to make an income from our art business, then we do have to have multiple streams of income. And I think that the minis fall into a really sweet spot. As far as the club, what my vision for it was that, and it's not my original idea. So props out to Tamara Grand Art and also to Julie, I think it's Julie Pritchard, who
Yes.
I kind of combined both of their ideas and then put my spin on the whole thing. But the premise was like, I have a lot of people that like what I'm doing, that resonate with my art, right? But they don't necessarily, they either don't have the space for a large piece, or their finances aren't where they want them to be yet for a larger piece. And there are people that think about, there's people love to collect, right? That's a huge
Mhm.
thing. We all collect something. Yes. I mean, we're starting to collect Pokemon cards now. Whoever knew that, but that's because of Sony. Oh my gosh. But we're learning this is the whole world. But people, their whole business is based on collecting,
Right.
So the business model I felt like was super sound, because you've got people that it gives them a price point that's palatable. Like, it's not a
Mhm.
huge commitment, right? It's something new every month, because who doesn't like to get fun mail? Because what do we get in the mail now? Junk, right?
Yeah.
And it fits on a desk. It just hits all the boxes to have a wide range of people that would, possibly want to do it, which then brings in a viable source of income for us as artists on a monthly basis, right? So as you build that, and I think about Julie, who had, I keep bringing this back, but 700 people on her. As I make them, I'm like, what are you going to do when you get to 700 people? Like, it has to be a production, but that's wonderful money. But even at 20 a month, if you 20 times 20 is $400 a month, right? And if you had that coming in every single month, that is enough to give you some income to then up your pay bills, of course, but you could start investing in advertising. You could start in,
Right.
have a little bit of seed money coming in that then can fuel our businesses on to bigger and larger things. All those booths and stuff, Jeanette, that you're talking about,
Mhm.
how was that booth? Did you have to pay for the booth, Bernie, that you just did, or the event?
No, you just had to be a part of the art group, but it might have been $10 or something. It wasn't much at all. So just to be a
Okay.
part of it, yeah, it was minimal. But I was going to say, not only are you doing that subscription, you're also creating work and getting ideas out, and for your personal larger
Yes.
works, it's all, you're getting the creativity out on paper and giving it to people, and you're still keeping that creativity. So I think I really want to try that next year. So I'd like to talk to you about that, both of you, about that a little
Sure.
bit more, how to
Yeah.
start that up, because I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually want to do a whole thing about, like, what were the step-by-step processes that Tony and I did, because there is a lot of behind the scenes of creating the club that no
Right.
one sees. That's all the foundation work that goes in on the website and Canva, and then your marketing leading up to it and building, which you've already been doing the same exact thing with your heart.
And jewelry.
But yeah, that's something that you guys know I'm an open book. So I want to talk in depth about, like, if you're an artist and you want to do this, like, here's what we did, and feel free to use the info to do it for you too.
Yeah.
So what I plan to do with it, like what's coming out of it for the future, is that yes, you're right. We are learning new techniques and we're learning, ideas for future paintings. So
Mhm.
Jeanette and I just did a class from Lori Ann. What is her last name? I just forgot it.
It's oh shoot, gosh,
I know
gosh.
Lori Ann something. You Google it while I talk. Okay, I
Yeah,
already
I
saw
will.
you on your
I will.
phone.
I will. I will. I will.
But we just did her print class. So she did a class. So what she does is she does like little 4x6 paintings, and that's about as big as usually she paints. And then she
Mhm.
creates prints from them and blows them up all the way to a 40x60 from this 4x6 print. And they're
It's
beautiful. The quality is amazing, all of it. So we just did the class. And so my goal is to, as I do the little minis, I will find ones that that I resonate with, that everything kind of clicks on it, or that I think would make a really good print. Because like not every painting would necessarily make a great print, right?
Mhm.
So I'll take those before I mail them out. I will scan them and make copies of them, and then those can go on to be prints on my website and possibly a large original painting from that. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving,
Mhm.
honestly, right?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's like
you can
we
build a
talked.
whole business.
Yeah, it's like we talked about. It's a byproduct of something you're already going to be doing.
Mhm.
So why not add value to your followers, your customers, your email list? Give them something special that's an original piece of art
Mm-hmm.
that they can't get normally, plus a little history. They always say they buy the artist versus the art. It talks about her process, talks about what she's doing. So I think the part that Terry's adding with the little notes about all of
Mhm.
that is very personal, and I think that's a great thought. And going back to Lori Ann, she what her whole thing is she takes her 4x5 original pieces of art. She sells those for like $350.
Mm-hmm.
But she's built her business on fine art prints.
Wow.
So she's figured out how to take that small 4x5 and blow it up to the large sizes that you could put over a mantle or put over a bed.
Mm-hmm.
So she's figured out how to take the small size originals and blow them up and still have them look good. But she also is a certain type of art that she does, which is the landscapes, which works well with doing that. Now, I don't know if all art would work well painting little and blowing up big, but like Terry said,
Mine would not.
you don't have to do that though. She can, it gives her ideas. So just all around it was good. And I was thinking about your hearts and how, you know, those you would also, I know at a time, Bernie, you had also wanted to go into flowers as well. I think anything like that you play around with could
Mm-hmm.
turned into something, where you offer it. But I
Mhm.
also think that your originals have to hold the value. So there needs to
Right.
be she sells those 4x5s for $350.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get originals for $20. And so it's just I think it's how it's set up and how your prices of your originals are. There's a whole you have to think about all of that so it makes sense. And it
Right.
well, tell me this. And I want to get back to what you're doing as well, but tell me, you did join Terry's mini club.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us why.
Um,
Oh, no pressure. I'm sitting right here.
no, no pressure at all. No pressure at all. No, I love your work. I'm looking at your prints right in the corner. They still need to frame, but I have two big prints of hers too. But they're in my shoe shed. Yeah, I think it was just I wanted a little piece of that instant passion going to the paper, and an original. I mean, a print is wonderful, but if you've got actually something that you can feel and know she put paintbrush to paper and actually made that, and the love flowed through you. I can feel that, and with those notes, it's amazing. You can just read it and feel what you were feeling at the time. So that's an extra really nice thing. And she packages it so nicely too. I mean, it's not just a plain envelope. It's a beautiful black and gold, lovely envelope that's like, oh, do I have mail yet? And
Yes,
who doesn't love mail? It's almost better. It's almost better than a package, because a package is usually brown cardboard, but you get this beautiful envelope that's like, oh, that's Terry's.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was
cool.
going for.
Yes.
So yes. Okay, good.
So
Good.
let's go back to your minis. I think in order to do the membership, I think, well, you have to look at the whole setup, like how much your originals are being sold for, and then so it's a special. I'm not explaining it the way my mind is running it through, but
I think what you're trying to say is that you have to make sure, like, so you're selling the minis for this much, and then your prints are this much, and then your original large pieces are this much. And do they align and make sure that it all is like cohesive? Is that,
and makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think? Also, I had a side thought of doing I think the minis would be better, but doing like a pendant club too, because this is directly involved with my work. But I don't know if people would want a different pendant, 12 different pendants a year, or I do one, either or for the same price, obviously. But what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, you could do both, because you're going to have some people that are into jewelry and some people that are just into art. And then some people might be in both. They might cross over. And can I just say, doesn't everyone have a drawer full of jewelry that has more than one necklace in it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's a market for that as well.
Or you could set it up to where it's every 2 months for the jewelry, or every 3 months for the jewelry. It could also be, I think the jewelry should be priced higher than the paper pieces. And I think a lot of this is helpful to find out what people are buying.
Right.
Like all your customers, make sure they're on your email list, that you have all their info, and send an email out saying, hey, you guys who have bought my art, like my art, these are a couple things I'm thinking about. What do you think? What would you be interested in? Because don't you think, Terry?
Well, I think that yes. I mean, I agree. But my other thought of it, like, I'm always like, there's like the one on this side, right? And so it's like playing out. Okay, play it out all the way. One, I think that our lists aren't big enough to really have a poll that would actually tell us what you're going to send the email out, and like one person's going to respond, and we're not, we don't have like thousands of people on our list, right?
Yep.
So I think that for me, I just did what I wanted to do, like what I felt passionate about, not what somebody else might tell me they want. Because ultimately, you're going to be doing it, you're going to set it up and hopefully be doing it for the long haul. So whatever it is that you're doing, I think that you have to feel the most passionate about it. Right. And the people will then find you. So then the work is, you're doing what you're passionate about, and then you have to do the back end work to find the people that want what you're doing. And be okay with it. Might take a little bit longer to do it that way, but you're going to be in authenticity with yourself. That's what's most important to me, is like, I have to know that when I'm going to do the minis, I don't want to resent them because somebody said it's what they thought I should do, Right. And then I'm like, oh crap, I got to do minis this month. What am I going to do? I'm doing them because I really want to do them and I love them, and that comes through in the piece. So I think there's a balance between what you're saying, Jeanette, and then being true to who we are as artists and what we want to create, because that's almost like a commission at that point, like
Yeah, no, I agree with you totally. But what I guess what I'm saying is that you don't want to do something just for the sales, right?
Right.
Right.
So
I think we
I
all agree on that.
yeah, and that's why I loved the mini idea, because it was something that you're going to be creating anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Got it. Yeah.
the jewelry to me is a little bit more intentional, but I don't know.
True.
I'm just
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I would want to build up your customers as well, and I think yeah, that's what I was thinking about as well. Like, don't I don't know. It's
Maybe
just
start with maybe start with minis as paper, because you're already, like you said, you're already going to be doing that. And once you get that up and running and you feel comfortable with having that going, then you could add your jewelry as a subset of that at a later time.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and I like the idea of not even every month, like every couple of months, or yeah, I like that idea too. So yeah,
Yeah, because
I'm
if you
gonna
think
do.
about scalability with your jewelry, I see where Jeanette is going with that. Because if you think about scalability and you're doing that, those are way more time consuming, and you got to order all the pieces for them and all of that
Right.
stuff. So there's a lot of commitment to those. And then when you start making them every month, it might get overwhelming, and then the joy is
Right.
taken.
That's true. That's true.
that's exactly. You said it perfectly.
Hey, I'm in your brain. Like, you just had to give me enough words to string it all together.
I know I wasn't articulating like I wanted to,
That's okay.
but so Bernie, tell me
Drink
about
more of that Santa cup, and then it'll
yeah,
help.
exactly. Yeah, I gotta put some better in that Santa cup. I gotta get some of Bernie's champagne.
Yeah, that would help us all.
So tell us what else are you thinking about, Bernie? What else is going on? So you still have hearts available, right? So if anybody
I do.
listening,
Yeah,
they
I
can
still have
still-
about 15, 20 hearts available, and they're on my website. I have a website through Artwork Archive, which I really like them. It's got all my work up there, and then I have little collection rooms where I send people directly to the collection room.
Oh,
Well,
great.
that doesn't sound right. To the collections, and then they can purchase and see how much they are from there. So that's on my website.
What's your website? Because I'm going to put it in the comments.
Yeah. And I also put Lorianne's, so people who are interested in the print side of things, she's like the original. She has, just to put that out there, she has 137,000 followers.
Wow.
Nice.
So that
Yeah.
also allows her print business to be successful with that many followers. So just
Yeah.
put that caveat in there as well.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, like, we'll get there if we show up consistently and we keep putting ourselves out there and we keep trying things. Like, that's where we can go, right? So she's just further along on the journey. Okay,
Yep.
What's the email?
My website? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
It's in my profile. It's in my Instagram profile, but I think it's
okay. So
Artwork.
let's just do your
Artwork
profile.
I believe it's Artwork Archive / profile Bernadette Rivette. So I think if you go to Artwork Archive and then Bernadette Rivette.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Hold on.
But now that I'm talking to you too, I'm kind of inspired to do this. There's one show in Bowling Green that they do twice a year, and it's not necessarily fine art. It's more fine crafts, which I don't really want to go down the craft way, but they've got some beautiful work, and they've got a lot of. They do have a lot of fine art people, but they only. Oh, someone at my front door. They only have 2 shows a year, and they have thousands of people go through there. And so I'm going to try and sign up for that by the end of the year, and you have to get accepted for that. And
cool.
that will be in April if I am available to do that. But then I just have to create a lot of work. It's a 2-day show, and I'm going to hone in on my hearts and my sunflowers too. So I've been creating some sunflowers that kind of have texture to them. So something similar to this and on paper as well as canvas. But that's going to be a lot of work, and I really don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to make the time. So if I have an event to plan for, I think I'm going to just go ahead and do it. So,
Yeah, no, so
you make the time. When you have that deadline, you make the time, right?
right.
yes. And Bernie, you had said, so we had been talking to somebody else and they had said, when you have those shows and you have that mapped out, it forces you to create. And then all this stuff, I still believe the more you create, the more you're going to discover, the better you're going to get. And you never know where that's going to lead. So I would put as much effort into that as you can in creating. And I think that's great that you're challenging yourself that way. And I also wanted to ask you, you had said you didn't want to go down the craft route.
Mhm.
You want to stay with fine art. And what made you make that decision? Because that's something that I found by doing the show, which I felt like was more of a craft show than a fine art show. I from doing that, I realized, okay, yeah, no, I need to look for fine art shows.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what made you make that decision.
I think it's the people,
Mhm.
because that you really connect with I won't say my work is fine art, so but it just, I don't know what you would say. It's mixed media, I guess. So, but people that craft, which I used to do resin jewelry as well. So there are specific sort of people, and they don't get the feelings and the passion involved of creating artwork as opposed to just creating things to sell. That's what I think crafting is, creating things to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. That's how I felt as well.
Wait, so you're saying they are putting their energy into creating something to sell versus putting their soul out into the art because they're trying to get something inside of themselves out, which is what we feel like we are doing when we create.
Absolutely. And I guess crafting is more, you have a number of different things, and you don't have the variety of artwork that we have. I mean, I've got, my colors might be the same, and my subject might be the same, flowers or hearts, but it's all different. So I think you can really feel when someone's put down their passion onto canvas or paper, as opposed to making resin jewelry, which I like to do too, but it's the feeling. Yeah, it's the feeling involved of creating something like that.
And I think the people that come to purchase art are in a different mindset as well. Yes. At a craft show versus a fine art fair. I think that when they are coming to a more juried show, they are already expecting and knowing that the prices are going to be higher, and they're looking for that and willing to pay for that passion that they can see in what we're creating. And and so you can go to those things and even create your email list, but even if you're spending the time to send those email out, are they really the right people necessarily that are looking for what you're doing? You know what I mean?
And that's where I feel like I am at right now with not knowing. I don't have fully vetted what I want to do between my landscapes and my abstract. And I feel like I'm a little bit too all over the board, and I need to hone it in to have more of to where I know what I'm creating. I love what I'm creating, and I just do it.
Yeah. I used to be that same way too. I used to think that I had to have one specific style or a specific something. But I think it resonates more when you just paint what you want to paint. And that's one question I want to ask you, Jeanette. Why, or what do you see the difference going from your seascapes to your abstract, which are amazing? I don't think you've shown too much online, but like with your colors, your bold colors, and the text, that really relates to me as well.
So I think it's just a matter of getting enough body of work for both. So I started out doing the landscapes and seascapes, and I'm trying to abstract them more.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, do pure abstract, which doesn't have much of a theme. I just haven't had, I feel like I need a dedicated amount of time to make the creations and paint. And I feel like I've painted here, painted there, and I
Yeah.
haven't had a dedicated amount of time. Like if I had a show coming up like you do, or like Terry does, where it's, you have to get the body of work done. I think right now, because I'm spread a little thin, I haven't dedicated the time, but I think once I do that and start producing, then I'll start posting and you'll start seeing more. And then I think just naturally it's going to hone in to where
Yeah.
I want to be
Yes.
and what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah. So I think it's the volume that I don't have the volume yet that I and where I need to be practice wise. But I really appreciate you noticing those things just in our
Oh,
shows. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. Like I've
Yeah.
even gone from what I've lost it. I saw something of creating your own hearts. And now this is not something this is something I did for myself, but
Yeah.
I made this out of paper and then duct tape, like tape. And then I, with Mod Podge paper, and then you put your artwork on top, and I'm going to paint this and just have this for myself. But this is an extra little thing that I feel like I'm all over the place too sometimes, but I'm just going to do what I want to do. Like,
Right.
what makes
Right.
me
Yeah.
happy. And I have way limited time, just like you do, Jeanette. But when I'm here, I will, even if it's for an hour, I just want to go full in and have a purpose. And what am I going to do next time? Because I'm thinking, like, I'm sure you both are too. I'm thinking about it all the time at my regular job. Oh, I like this color. I could do that.
Oh, yes.
I write down on scrap pieces of paper and then post them in my journals when I get home because the thoughts are there.
Yeah.
That's 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's weird because I think that we're always going to feel all over the place, because I feel that way too. And Jeanette keeps saying, no, you totally have a style. I see
I
it coming out. And then I'm like,
I do.
okay. But I have a million ideas too. And I mean, right now I'm painting flowers, but there's other things that I want to paint as well. And I, like Jeanette, eventually want to get into some super abstract stuff too. But that's where the minis are coming in handy as an artist, is allowing me that playful time to explore and kind of, I haven't done it a lot yet because these last couple of months I've just been getting used to doing minis and putting them out and the whole process. But I do want to kind of blow out the flowers so that they're still there, but you got to really look to see them, and kind of there. I have that in my mind, but I don't know how to do it yet. And so I'm excited in the new year, just like Jeanette, to explore that so you'll start to see that in the minis. And then the thought process of that, and then eventually those will surface at my show, when I go back for
Right.
spring.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you, Brittany, because I think that show is a great idea.
Yeah, me too.
It's a big one, and I have to get not permission, but like tell my family because I'm going to be spending more time creating. But it's what I want to do, and it's nice to have a goal. It really is. Yeah. It's good to have a goal. So
absolutely,
I look forward to creating for the next 5 months or something, and seeing what I can come up with. So.
And when is that show, just to let people know ahead of time?
It's in April. I think it's towards the end of April, and it's called Gypsy Moon. But I might even do a live there as well. And it's just you have a huge, not huge, but I think it's like a 12 by 12 space, and it's in old horse stables.
Oh, I love that.
And so you have the sawdust on the ground, and it's all clean and it's all beautiful. But yeah, that's been one of my things. I've been going to the show to buy things twice a year. So that's next year's my year. I've made my decision. I'm doing it.
Do it. I'm so excited. Half of the battle is making the decision.
It really is.
Just go for it. Yeah.
And
what is that to lose?
Yeah. And Bernie, make sure you do some sort of a QR code for people to sign up on your email list.
Yep.
And that's just, I really feel like we just got to get out there.
Yep.
100%. Yeah,
agree.
yeah, for sure. For sure. So I was going to tell you this, since you're going to be doing that booth in 5 months. One of the things that at the booth that we just tested out in the fall was that I
Mhm.
had extra mini minis, right? Because obviously I make more than what I need. And so I packaged those the same as you get them without the envelope. And I put them in a little thing and we sold them same price, and they did really well.
Yeah.
And so that would be my suggestion too, is as you're creating and doing things for, in your play, save those and take them and put them in a little cute box. And that's another price point that you have for a small original painting that people would be, they just pick it up because it's easy. It's not,
Perfect.
it's at, if you price them at a price point where people don't have to think about the decision to purchase it, it's just
Right.
easy, right? It's like
Yeah.
no one's thinking about $20. You're spending that on dang near McDonald's now. I mean, everything's so expensive.
And make sure you have the range of price points. So your large originals are going to be your highest priced, and then you go down from there. So you have a price point for everyone.
Right. Yeah, that's what I have to figure out, and how many of what, and yeah. So that's going to be my first step of what I want to create. How many smalls, minis, a few. I want to create a couple of big ones. So when you walk in, it's going to be wow.
Well, your hearts behind you, Bernie, are beautiful. I would definitely do
Thank
more of
you.
those.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. I think that I can already picture your booth with all those heart things in it and what it's going to look like. And yeah, so I am really excited for you. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone and that feeling of accomplishment that you're going to feel after doing it. So no matter if you don't sell anything at all,
right,
the accomplishment of putting yourself out there to do it, the steps that you're going to take to do it, doing it.
That's true.
That's going to be what the success is. And I just know that feeling after, and Jeanette does too, after you do those booths, it's just amazing. So there's a lot of fun that's going to come from doing it.
And you learn whatever you just learn, and you gain that knowledge, and then you're better on the steps to where you want to be because you've done it.
Right, right. And it's not always just about the end result. I mean, I always say it's about the journey. So it's all about making the steps, as you said, towards it. And, the end piece de resistance will be the actual show. So I'm looking forward to it now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay.
So now you got to get going and finish that bad boy behind you so that she's ready to well, you just have to do a picture, right? You just have to submit a picture.
No, I actually have to give it up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you need to get busy. What do you have to do?
I know.
What's left?
Yeah. So
no. But what do you have to do to finish it by tomorrow? Because she looks done to me.
Well, about 2 hours ago, I put paper hearts on the hearts so they wouldn't get splatter, and I splattered gold all around. So what I don't have time to varnish it for it to dry. So I'm actually just going to varnish the hearts, and I think they'll pop because they'll be gloss varnish. And and the rest won't
what a great idea.
Yeah, the rest won't be varnished, but hopefully it'll dry by tomorrow. And I've got a little bit more than 24 hours to have it dry. So, I'm just pricing it relatively high my standards. So if it doesn't sell, I get to take it home and maybe finish it.
Yeah, like you have to pay me to let you take my art because I want to keep it.
Right.
That is the key that I try to always tell myself. Stop thinking about what someone else is going to want. What do you want on your wall?
Yes.
And if you want it on your wall, then it doesn't matter, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yep.
100%. My big painting that I sold at the booth, I cried after she bought it because happy tears that she bought it, and then sad tears because I'm like, oh, dang. I love her. I'm not going to get to see her anymore.
Right.
So it's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yes. But that's when you know you're in the right spot.
Yeah, yes. I think that you're right, Jeanette. I think that is when somebody looks at it and they're like, man, no, I'm not going to buy it. You're like, okay, good.
Exactly.
I think you have more of that feeling, exactly that feeling when you create what you want to create, because we could all be creating something that sells, from other people. And if it sells, it's like you're actually buying that other person's work, even though I did it. But if someone buys this, you've bought a piece of my being, my passion, my heart. So that feeling of you're buying me. So you're buying the artist, as they always say, aren't you?
Yes.
So that's a wonderful feeling.
Yes. And how they know us, how they know, like, love, and trust us is by us showing up on social media and at the booths as our most authentic and truest self. And just let the cards fall where they may. And the people that want what we're doing and love us and love our journey and what we're about will find us. And we just have to be okay with taking the long road, because in my previous career, there's a lot of shortcuts you can take, but it's all a house of cards, right? And then eventually you don't even know who you are, who in this journey, it would be who you are, who your art is, and why you're even doing it. That will get lost if we try to cut corners and get there faster than we're supposed to.
And you'll be miserable. And you'll be
miserable. And what was the point then of leaving my other career? That paid me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was miserable, but
Well, Bernie, that is a great way I think that's a great way to wrap this up. I think that was a perfect statement. You did awesome. People who are watching this, go to Bernie's website and buy the last of her hearts that are out there. Great price point. They're beautiful. And get a little piece of Bernie in your home.
Oh, yes.
I'll do a video when mine comes. Cheers to you, Bernie.
Cheers. Thank you.
Where's the Santa cup? We need all three.
Oh, Santa cup. Santa cup. Santa cup.
1, 2, 3. Cheers.
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 Oh my gosh. Bye, everybody. Bernie, thanks for being on. This awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you for inspiring me.
Yes.
Okay, so we want to know in our group, for those that are watching now or on the replay, follow Bernie so you can see her journey, because I'm sure she's going to be posting as things go, and you're going to submit and all that stuff so we can watch along. Jeanette and I are taking a break from If This Canvas Could Talk over the holiday season for December, so we will not have a show now. When will our next one be? Our
next one will be in let's see, it'll be January 10th.
Okay.
January
so mark
10th.
your calendar, January 10th. Yes. We'll be back. But we'll be on Insta.
And Sistema Stacy, how do you say your name? I wonder. Thanks for watching. Do you see that?
Stacy Sistema?
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Stacy.
Stacy. Okay, so we will see you. We'll take in the break for December. We'll see you back all on January 10th. And keep us posted, Bernie, on what's happening.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you both.
Love you too.
I'll stay on for a minute.